Hi, welcome to Hormone Heaven. This is Dr. Angel, a thyroid and perimenopause expert. This podcast is for women who are struggling with thyroid or perimenopause and are looking for natural solutions. It is a micropod because I like to give quick, bite-sized information that you can implement immediately in your daily life. Please keep in mind, I'm a doctor, but I'm not your doctor, so please check with your healthcare provider before beginning or ending any supplements or medications. And today is going to be a fun episode because I had a client that asked for this. So her question was, she knows that it's best to eat at home, right? It's always best if we cook our own food, but sometimes we have to go out, right? Especially during this time of year, which I'm recording this during the holiday season. So people are going out. So what I did was come up with 10 restaurants and what I thought was probably the best hormone balancing meal you could get at those restaurants. Now, I want you to keep in mind that I'm certain these restaurants cook in seed oil and all kinds of other things that are unhealthy. I'm not saying these are the healthiest options, but they're definitely the more hormone balancing options because they're really high in protein and lower in carbs. And they'll make you full. So we want that satiation. We want that fullness, right? This time of year. So we want to be able to go out with our friends, but also be able to not go crazy with our food. Now, I will mention that some of these, according to the websites, are gluten free. However, if you that is an issue, I would definitely check with the restaurants first to make sure, and it may be not gluten free enough for you. You know what I mean? So definitely work on that. And also, please make sure to check the show notes because there is going to be a list of everything I'm talking about today. So if you want to have it handy on your phone, so if you end up at a restaurant, you can be like, oh, this is something I can order pretty quickly. I wanted to start with breakfast, and it was really hard to find anything with breakfast. So one of the big things is an omelet is always a good thing to order at breakfast, right? So that's always a good option. But if you're out and about, which people love Starbucks, they have a bacon and Gruyere sous vide egg bite. So Gruyere is cheese, if you don't know, and basically it is 9 grams per bite. So the bite is like a little egg, it looks like an egg McMuffin, if you will. So it's 18 grams for the order, basically a protein for this. So great amount of protein. They say it's gluten free. It is definitely not dairy free. I know they have some cottage cheese in it and some other things. But if you're out and you really need something quick, that's a good protein bite. Gives you, like I said, 18 grams of protein in just one order of it. Now, if you're out and about and you have access to a microwave, you may want to go by Target or your local grocery store, Walmart, places like that. There's a company called Three Bridges, and they actually have these egg bites as well that have about the same amount of protein in them. So if you've got a larger family, you're trying to save some money, that's a really good option. And by the way, if you're traveling, I highly recommend instead of stopping at maybe fast food restaurants, stopping at grocery stores. A lot of times you can get what everybody wants because everybody wants something different, and you can get maybe a little bit healthier. Like, sometimes there's oven baked chicken in the deli, things like that. So keep that as an option. I know we have actually gone and bought a whole chicken before and just sat and ate that when we were traveling. Something to think about. My next option, I did a couple of drive-throughs and then I did a couple of sit-down restaurants. So my first drive-through was Panda Express. They have a grilled teriyaki chicken that has about 33 grams of protein. And my goal is 15 to 30 grams of protein per meal. So that's a really good option there. Now, where you can get in trouble at all of these places is when you start adding on the rice and all that. But at Panda Express, you can actually add on broccoli, from what I can tell, and mushrooms too, from what I can tell on their website. So that is an option. Add things like broccoli, spinach, good vegetables in with that to really add more fiber and make you even more filled. Another option is Firehouse Subs. They have a Firehouse salad with grilled chicken. It has 57 grams of protein. Now, when it comes to salads, again, you got to be really careful with your salad dressing. So I always recommend oil and vinegar if you can do that. If you can't, make sure to put the salad dressing on the side so you're not putting as much as you need. And just be careful of the add-ins you can have on some of these salads. So stick with the veggies and the grilled chicken and the salad, the greens, and you're going to be pretty good. Jimmy John's has an unwich. If you've ever had an unwich at Jimmy John's, I highly recommend them. So they don't use the bread, they use lettuce to wrap the salad sandwich. And from what I can tell, their best protein sandwich at Jimmy John's is going to be their number 10, which is the Hunter's Club. It has 40 grams of protein and it is supposed to be gluten-free as well. But any sandwich that you want to get at Jimmy John's, you just want to be careful and make sure you get the always going to take those carbs away. They're going to make you really tired and not balance those hormones because that's going to get that sugar going and unbalance the hormones. So I always just think when you're adding those sides in, you want to think vegetables and protein. And that's on that same line, you could do at Subway, they have a roast beef bowl that has about 30 grams of protein, and it is supposed to be gluten-free as well. And I know at Subway, you can actually watch them making it. So that's something you can really decide what you want to do there on how you want to get those extras into that salad. And then next, finally, on the drive-through ones is Panera bread. I know people love Panera bread, but ooh, can we get in trouble at Panera bread? There's so much there. I suggest ordering on the app for Panera bread because then you can get really detailed in your order. It's a little more difficult when you're talking to somebody at the cash register to do all these nuanced orders that you want to do. So I just highly recommend this. This is what I do when I go to Panera bread. I order on the app. And so that way I can get exactly what I want. So if I want to double the protein, I can double the protein. So the Green Goddess Cobb actually has 37 grams of protein. Now, I do not like the Cobb salad dressing, that Green Goddess dressing, because that's a little too, it just got too much stuff in it for me. So what I will do is, again, try to find oil and vinegar, put it to the side, things like that. But when you order on the app, you can add in things like avocado, which gives you a good healthy fat. Again, something else that's going to help keep you full. So that protein and fat. You can take off things like croutons, things that you don't necessarily need in there. So that Panera Green Goddess Cobb is going to have 37 grams of protein. If that is something you're interested in, just remember to order on the app because that's definitely going to give you better options on that one. So now for the sit down restaurants. The first one was PF Chang's. Again, you have to worry about all the rice and everything at PF Chang's, but they do have a lot of options to order vegetables on the side. So I do recommend that. And their Mongolian beef has 33 grams of protein. It is considered gluten-free as well. Now, PF Chang's actually has a gluten-free menu, so they, I'm sure, would be open to having conversations with you about does it meet the gluten-free standards that you're looking for. For Red Robin, you can get an Atlantic grilled salmon. It's 42 grams of protein. And Red Robin, again, also has veggies that you can get on the side instead of those bottomless fries. Okay. That's where we get in trouble at Red Robin is with those bottomless fries. And that Atlantic grilled salmon is supposed to be gluten free as well. I would check with them on that. Then Applebee's has a Fiesta lime chicken that has 61 grams of protein and it is gluten free as well. Again, I noticed that you could substitute your rice. I think that comes with it for some veggies. So that is certainly, and that's a place people like to go a lot during the holidays. So you could order without feeling like telling people you're on a diet or you're trying to, be careful with your food. And then finally, Chili's has a margarita grilled chicken that has 52 grams of protein. They do not say that one is gluten free. So I'd be careful with that. Anytime, apparently, if they put alcohol in it, probably too, it's not gluten free. Most alcohol is not. So there's options at several restaurants that you can walk into and eat. And then we also had the Subway. Don't forget, you can also do grocery stores if you're traveling, right? Remember to stop at grocery stores. And even if you have to stop at a convenience store, you can actually find fresh fruit and vegetables now at a lot of convenience stores. I particularly see like bananas and apples. Sometimes they'll have fresh made salads I'll find at convenience stores. So you have to dig around a little bit. Something that's at almost all convenience stores are things like jerky and nuts, stuff like that. So when you think about jerky, you just want to get the cleanest that you can, but get some nuts, maybe just with salt added, but no other oils or anything like that. I would love if you have a restaurant that you like to go to and you would like me to look at the menu and say, hey, what's the best thing for me to eat at this restaurant? And you can even give me some parameters too, like I don't like this or I like that. And I will do that for you. So let me know. In the show notes, it has all how you can get a hold of me. I want to thank you for listening to Hormone Heaven. If you want a visual version of this, please click the link in the show notes because I have it all listed out for you. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you can get the podcast as soon as they are available. And if you have listened this far, you probably like the pod. So give me a review, please. I would love to hear how you're enjoying it. And if you have any questions, please go to alternativehealthwithangel.com or check out the show links link in the description. And remember, do not make any changes with medications or supplements without speaking to your healthcare provider. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA, and this is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Thanks for listening, y'all.